Hi, I'm Coulter. I'm an artist, I'm a sculptor, I'm a muralist, I'm an illustrator. I make things, I make art. I get to create stuff that doesn't exist in the world. And it's really exciting because my imagination gets to turn into things that are physical that people can touch and see and feel. I'm 30 years old. I've been drawing for a very long time. I started drawing because I wanted to be my older sister. I loved her so much that I wanted to be her. Art ended up being something that followed me through my life. When I started with art, I didn't know that I would end up making murals. I did a 200-foot long mural in Greensboro of black cowboys with Coulter street art. It's the biggest piece that I've done. Before that, I did a piece in Fayetteville. It's this really, really long mural on the side of a building. It's right around the corner from the marketplace where they actually sold people who were enslaved. Painting the piece in Fayetteville was important for me because it's right around the corner from the market house where people who look like me used to be sold and purchased and enslaved. What it says to me is the importance of resilience, the idea that anything is possible. Public art is special because people get to encounter it no matter if they're looking for it. I get to put a piece out into the world that says something positive. It makes someone feel happy. It makes them smile. It tells them that they're strong. I get to make all of these things because I'm an artist and that's what I do. I want to create monuments to Black joy all over the world, basically giant sculptures that people can play on. And it starts with something like this. Figuring out how to get sculpture into a book as my absolute favorite thing was the beginning of a process that I'll probably stick with for the rest of my life. This book is made of a number of mediums, including charcoal, ceramic clay, iron, mixed media, multimedia. I use Procreate for digital illustrations. I use acrylic paint. I use paper. You know, when I go and talk to these kids, they're old enough to remember that I was there because I remember Patricia Polacco. I remember her coming to my school and talking to me, and now I'm an artist doing this thing. Now I'm an illustrator doing this thing. You only have so much time here, and I think the best thing that I get to do is be able to make an impact on children who are building their lives right now. So for me, art is special. Art is something I love, but it's an avenue for change. It's a way to reach people who I wouldn't otherwise be able to reach. I get to bring joy to people, and I get to tell stories that are hard, but I get to bring resilience, and that makes life amazing. And each night, gathering the children by the fire to hear tales of Moses and trickster rabbits and missing home and missing home. I wanted the illustrations in this book to come to life because the manuscript is so important. I really enjoyed working on the book, and it was one of the most difficult projects that I have ever worked on. Working on this project took 3 years. It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of revisions. The cover itself was revised 6 times. And in the process of working on this book, I grew so much. The book launched in January 3rd of this year, and we went on tour with the book, and it was absolutely nuts. I illustrated an American story, and it was one of the best experiences of my entire life. I was so inspired by The Undefeated because Kadir Nelson is phenomenal and Kwame Alexander is amazing. So I had to break away from the thing in the very beginning of being like, I'm just gonna make The Undefeated Part 2. I have an agent, his name is Ruben Pfeffer, and I absolutely adore him. And he was with me through this process. This book took 3 years to create on my behalf, but in total, for this book to come alive, it was 7 years. Ruben did such a fantastic job in recentering me. He's like, you're not making a book that is the next version of Kadir Nelson's book. You're making a version of the book that's Coulter's book. And he kept reinforcing that to me over and over because I needed to hear it, because I was like, no, in order for it to be great, it's gotta be this thing. And my mom and sisters are like, you know, your art just has to be your art, that's it. You know, my work will be reaching people in a different way than everyone else's does, but that's all of our story, that's all of our unique individual things. Thanks so much for watching. You can find me online and more about my work at darecoulter.com, or you can find me on socials at darecoulter.